Ask any educator or business leader, and they will tell you what statistics have long shown. Education beyond high school brings many benefits to the student. Every year that a student attends community college or university translates into better, higher paying jobs.
I want to pursue a career in automotive, somewhere, really anything, just to do anything that's with cars would be fine with me, but I would really like to do like engine work, like engineering would be really cool, help design like engines or something, that would be really cool.
There are many ways to go about pursuing a higher education, and planning while you are still in the midst of high school will help you take advantage of many options. And as you look into the best path for you, your education and potential career direction, you may consider Tech Prep.
In my senior year, C-West program came and talked to my class and told us about C-West. Basically, we can work in the trades and get a little bit of money for it, and they provide transportation for us. And we can go to a different school for 2 periods out of the day and go to work on job sites. So I thought that was interesting, so I pursued it, and it was the best choice I made in high school.
Tech Prep provides pathways for students directly tied to potential careers, preparing them with strong academic, technical, and specific vocational knowledge to help students focus on their chosen career areas and to connect with professionals in those careers.
I define it as a 2+2 program, 2 years of secondary combined with 2 years of post-secondary training. It's generally in a career and technical education arena. At the end of that, it is a certificate, degree, or diploma for the student that gives them the leg up going into their careers. It's an opportunity to earn college credit at the high school level. It combines your academics as well as your career and technical education.
But it's a fact. While many students and parents may find the Tech Prep courses appealing, they might be scared by the word vocational and worry that if the student starts on this path, they will be stuck on this path, limiting their education options.
Our programs of study are not simply technical courses. They truly are integrated with the academic courses. What it does is gives that reality or that meaning to those academics. It does not mean that you are not able to go to a 4-year institution. You can certainly use your credits. They may not transfer over the same as they would into a 2-year degree. They may go as a gray area credit, but it doesn't limit them.
Russ Williams, a Seattle attorney specializing in maritime law, agrees.
In a way, I went to a 3-month training school to become a merchant mariner, and back in 1977. But I don't feel that that precluded me in any way from getting an additional degree or going on and getting a law degree. In fact, it enhanced my ability to do so.
So making the decision to take Tech Prep classes does not limit a student to taking only Tech Prep classes. And if a student takes the option to return to classes traditionally considered academic classes.
And I think Tech Prep, I've been in education for over 35 years now, and I don't think there's such a thing as wasted learning. Everything that you learn at any period in your life is always going to be something that's going to benefit you.
Dr. Kilpatrick is an example of someone who switched between vocational training back to a traditional academic education.
I grew up in South Central. I only went to high school for 3 months. I dropped out Manual Arts High School and went to Job Corps. I was in Job Corps in Estacade, Oregon for 6 months, 3 weeks, 5 days, and 7.5 hours, and worked on my GED and started Oregon State when I was 17. You know, I started out in business, but I had a chance to teach a class when I was 19, and I switched to education.
Dr. Kilpatrick is a firm believer that exposure to Tech Prep courses is a benefit to both career and technical education-minded students and the traditional academic student. In fact, Tech Prep courses offer many benefits to students that they won't necessarily find in the traditional classroom.
It's for students who can learn contextually. It's for students who are readers, who are doers, who are thinkers. It doesn't matter. It's for every student. So the students who have a difficult time sitting and listening to a lecture for 50 minutes, I mean, I don't like to sit and be lectured to for 50 minutes either. They particularly enjoy hands-on learning. We call it contextual learning. It's taking the basics, the foundations, the skills, and making them actually work, using your hands.
There are some people who are extremely bored learning theories in classrooms. They want to apply it. You know, if you work with, and I've, again, being in Job Corps and being a dean of vocational technical areas at Yakima 20 years ago, the tactile stuff, being able to not only learn geometry, but how do you apply it? That's a higher form of learning. You know, you're going from the theory to the direct application.
And Tech Prep connects students directly with their area of interest and possible career in ways that the traditional education can't.
You will get an enriched learning experience. You will get an enhanced learning experience. There are a lot of students who graduate that don't have a clue. You know, they don't have a clue. They've gotten a degree in English, but okay, now what can I do with it? Where's the direct application?
So another benefit, direct application has the student putting into practice what they are learning. There are students who know what their goal is, but don't really know the path to take. The owner of a group of chocolate and coffee shops, Christian Wong, had a goal. It just wasn't defined.
It's, in high school, people would say, well, what are you planning on doing when getting older? And a lot of people thought politics, and I was like, oh no, I think I want to run a business and be in business. And people were like, well, what kind of business do you want to run? And I was like, I'm not really quite sure yet. So, you know, people always ask me that, and I never really, knew what I wanted to do. I was inspired by Ben & Jerry's because they were able to create a business that gave back to the community and also create good, made people happy. And I wanted to do something very similar.
Christian recognizes that it was really an accumulation of skills learned from both career and technical and traditional academic classes that put him into the position of being a successful businessman.
I use some accounting. I understand accounting, so it's good for business. So, I mean, it has come in handy. And there's a lot of other skills that I learned throughout high school. I mean, learning how to type, even automobile shop. Just all the different classes you can take will contribute to anything you want to do. It's learning the basic skills, I think, when you're in high school. So if I had to go back, I would learn as much as I could. Learn as much as I could about every single thing that I could possibly get my hands on. And just learn, gain as much skills as you can, and you'll be surprised how often you'll end up using those later on in life.
Christian's experience in combining knowledge from a variety of class settings may have given him an edge. Recent studies indicate that at a time when education has never been more important to economic success, there is a growing skills gap in which many young adults lack the skills and work ethic needed for many jobs that pay a middle-class wage. Tech Prep is an answer to filling that gap.
Tech Prep courses are in our CTE, or Career and Tech Ed line of academia. And students who go through a CTE program have had an opportunity to do work-based learning. So by the time that student leaves, they've already had work experience. They've had one-on-one with employers. And oftentimes, with the real bright and forward-thinking students, they have an opportunity to come in and have an entry-level position with them. And sometimes the employer will even pay for their post-secondary education opportunities.
So I think someone who comes with a technical background, those are the kind of people I'm interested in hiring for administrative positions, because not only do they have the theoretical skills as an academician, as an administrator, but they also have technical skills. They understand what application is, direct application.
And of course, there is a significant benefit to your pocketbook.
The nice thing about Tech Prep for students and for parents, I think, is to understand the tuition savings that parents have. Just last year alone, we saved parents in tuition, I believe it was about $19 million, because of the credits that were earned in Tech Prep.
And one of the greatest benefits, success.
I think just the real achievers are the ones who were on the edge of dropping out of school. They just couldn't sit through another class, and you can get them hooked up into a culinary arts program, let's say, and their eyes light up and they don't drop out. They find a purpose and a reason to stay in because of that.
Tech Prep is a pathway. It will lead you, as a student, where you want to go. It offers specific knowledge that will help you to achieve what you want. And it will not narrow your choices, it will expand them. Attorney Russ Williams believes Tech Prep is an important part of a student's education plan.
I would say as long as the student is interested in the area and not doing it as a default, meaning the lack of something else, but really has an interest or perhaps, needs to explore what his or her interests are, I'd say, that's great. For example, cooking. I mean, there are some people that really blossom in a professional kitchen. I mean, that's really, and they don't know it until they do it. And so if I were I am a parent, I mean, I would encourage my children and parents of other children to give them an opportunity to explore and see what they like and see what they can do, without preconceptions that a vocational track is somehow limiting.
Tech Prep is for every student that is in high school, sitting in a high school course.
Yeah, when I was in college, it's really tough, I think, for like an 18, 20-year-old kid to really figure out what they want to do with for the rest of their lives. So it's, I wanted to try different things. Really, my recommendation for people, from what I've learned, is just to follow your passion. To find out what you really love to do, and then do it well, and you could probably make a living at it. So